welcome to Miss Annette's Little Farm in the big city. It's terribly cold out this morning. Terribly cold out. The Carhartt's on. I've got myself all geared up, and I've just finished making a gourmet breakfast for the birds. I'm going to get ready to go outside and get everybody up. I waited a little bit longer this morning to get everybody up, just because I wanted them to stay in the dry barn. And now I've got to feed everybody, make sure everybody has water, and check and see how we fared last night. It got to be about 1 below, 2 below. It's 2 below zero now outside. So let's go see what's going on out there. The first thing I have to do this morning is check on the water buckets to make sure that the water buckets didn't freeze over. We plugged them in, and I wasn't quite sure whether they were going to work or not because we've had them for quite a while. So we might be making a trip to Tractor Supply a little bit later to check on the water buckets. And then I can see there we go. Alright, let's look and see. Well, frozen solid. Let's go check on the other ones. I can hear everybody in the barn, so we know we made it all right. They're trying to get through the day. The next few days, it's going to be tough. My part will be making sure that they're sheltered, that they remain in their shelter out of the wind, that their shelter is dry, that they have plenty of fresh water and extra food. And that's how we're going to survive these next few days. But the water situation is always the hardest on any farm. And I can see so I'm not really quite sure, but the buckets are frozen over. So I don't know whether the electricity went out or whether it's just too cold and these buckets can't function that way. So I've got to figure out that water solution first and foremost. Fresh water is really important on days like today. Fresh water and plenty of food and plenty of shelter and plenty of warm bedding. Oh dear, I'm repeating myself, but it's cold out, you guys. It's really cold. All right. So we got to figure something out about the water buckets. But I need to get these animals fed. We tried a small hose at the end of the spigot, but the temperatures are just too cold and we were afraid it was going to freeze up the water pipes inside the house, which would have made a big mess. So we're just going to keep doing it the old-fashioned way, carrying the buckets in from the kitchen down to the paddocks. We're back inside. It was so cold outside that the camera stopped working, so you didn't get to see what was happening out there. But all the animals are fine, but I didn't open up the barn. I left them in the barn, which it might drive them a little stir crazy, but later on this afternoon, maybe I'll let them out. I mean, it's a morning, so mornings are always a little bit colder.
Boiled, cut the meat.
Yes. Dentist sticks and bits. Not those. We just got back from Tractor Supply. We got some extra flake, so we're going to put some of the bags of flake in front of the door a little bit to just kind of break the wind from going through the barn. And then we got a new water bucket. This kind of weather, you're outside a lot, believe it or not. You're constantly checking the water situation, constantly checking for frostbite, making sure the animals are okay. It's important that you also have cold weather gear so that you can come outside and not freeze to death. I have Carhartts, a t-shirt, a flannel shirt, a sweatshirt, this vest, a down jacket, my warm gloves, and 2 hats. My Boggs boots, winter boots. So I am all set. I can be out here for a good amount of time without getting uncomfortable or harming myself. Let's go in the barn and check on the animals, and then we can talk a little bit about why we don't heat our barn. Can we go outside? To get so cold out. Bedding for you guys, okay? Some fresh. Oh, goodness. have a little device in our barn. Hang on a second. See that little white bar over there? That gives us a temperature readout inside the house, and it helps us monitor the humidity. One of the reasons that we don't heat our barn is because of the humidity. It would be so warm in here that it would create condensation, and that would be very bad for the animals here. The animals have a natural way of keeping warm. They've evolved a little bit more than we have to be outside. Humans, we've evolved to lose all of our facial hair and all of our body hair, so we're very vulnerable when it comes to being outside. But animals have adaptations to help them be in this kind of weather. And those adaptations prevent me from heating the barn. They have all of these built-in things that keep them warm. The goats, for instance, have a thick extra layer of fur. Underneath their nice black fur, there's kind of a cashmere woolly fur underneath, and they'll lose that in the spring. If I were to heat the barn, they would start losing that because naturally their bodies would say it's too warm, and they would start losing that. And then when I open the barn up and they go outside, it would be entirely too cold for them. Then the ducks are very fortunate. Their little legs have arteries and veins that are very close together, and that helps keep their feet warm. And their little bodies, they have all these warm feathers to keep them warm. Anyway, so they keep themselves warm by hunkering down and keeping their feet warm and digging their bills underneath their feathers. Their feathers really help them a lot. The chickens, with their wonderful, marvelous feathers, kind of fluff up their feathers and create a kind of a warm little cocoon to kind of nestle in. And so when it gets really cold, you'll see them huddled together or hunched down and keeping themselves warm. And keeping the animals warm by heating the barn, we could also cause a fire. It's very dusty in a barn, and there's many things that could ignite very quickly. I just wanted to share with you guys what happens when it gets cold like this and some of the things that I do to help take care of my animals during this kind of weather. Thank you. Thank you for following along on my adventures here on the little farm. Thank you for visiting us today. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. Try to get a little fresh air today if you can. And we will see you next time. Bye. Love you.